Now, what the bleep is the Echo Fox meme team is Emily's topic.
I'm killing North America.
I'm so excited for how awkward Mark is going to feel during this.
I'll see. Right. I don't get awkward. Well, that's not true.
You're already turning red a bit.
This is the same problem where, like, as I get talk more and more, my face starts getting red, and everyone thinks I'm angry.
Like the
I'm fair-skinned.
I'm
fair-skinned.
Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so we had this team announced by Echo Fox. I actually had to check to make sure that it was not a joke.
Yeah, because Daily Dot leaked it or they're
and I read it, and the way it was phrased, I was like, "Is this actually real?" And then it comes out that it is. And our producer Ryan actually asked me. He was like, "Oh man, does this mean that Mark won't have time for the show?" And I was like, "I will be shocked if they practice."
Mark, we wouldn't have allowed Mark to come on the show if he was the coach, but because he's only an analyst, he can actually stay on League Weekly.
So I guess I get it's not that I don't understand how this happened in terms of franchising being announced, but for someone who constantly comes on the show, and I'm not even throwing shade at you, but just in general, every week we come on and we're like, what's wrong with North America? And I feel like
throwing shade
this
at
is a shining example of which is fine. If they want to go and make money and I guess build a brand, more of a brand for Echo Fox, but I don't know, maybe I take things too seriously. It's something people tell me over and over in my life, aka Travis. But I just don't. I guess it seems like it's almost like spitting in the face of teams that are actually trying to become permanent partners. If I am a Riot and I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, I get it. The challenger spots, they might not be as worth as much because obviously you're not guaranteed a slot in the league, regardless if you win challenger or not. But there are teams that are actually actively trying to put their best foot forward, try to make their case as permanent partners, and then this team comes along, and to me it's just spitting in the face of all the other teams that are trying. It just seems really
the better way to prep this topic, by the way, I'll let Mark respond in a second, but the better way to prep this topic, Emily, would have been to just say, all right, I have a little bit of a clip that I want to roll at the start of the show, and it's just the previous episode where Mark's like, teams just need to take this more seriously, and he's not trying.
So I agree.
His TSM rant.
Teams need to take it more seriously. That's the teams that exist. And so when you say, we're the teams that are vying for partnership, that's not Echo Fox is already in the LCS. They already have their challenger team, which can't compete for a promotion tournament spot. That's been ruled by Riot. If you have the sister teams can't compete. So it's not like we're taking someone out of promotion relegation potentially. Additionally, without getting into specifics, I can't really get into this too much, but we did not take this opportunity away from another challenger team.
Oh yeah, I want that to be
clear
point.
That there's not 5 players who should be in the challenger series right now who aren't. And I can't get into why that's the case necessarily, but that's the case.
I trust you on that.
I told you in the beginning.
Yeah, it's my point is more that so I'm Riot and I'm looking at people who want to be permanent partners, and instead of I guess taking it a bit more seriously, maybe trying to find I know you said we couldn't find a team. I don't know. It just seems almost slightly mean-spirited to me.
But why? They have a in-house 10-man roster that scrims, and they didn't want to use that roster to compete in a series that doesn't benefit them in any way. They don't want to lose scrim time with their sister team competing in this other league. From my understanding, and I could be wrong, maybe Echo Fox comes out and clarifies, but they don't want 3 hours to be gone of their challenger team on Wednesdays and Thursdays competing in a league that doesn't benefit the team at all. They're actually taking it more seriously for their main roster, and they have a spot that they're using to gain publicity and fans.
Kelsey?
My question is, and I know a little bit of something about how they're using their sister team to scrim or whatever, so I understand that decision, but the question is, do they really feel that there's zero benefit to having those players get some professional matches, even if they are online matches? Is there really zero benefit to that?
I can't answer that for that org, because I'm really not that. I'm not Echo Fox Mark Z now. Like
you're only a coach for the cameras, much like Monte Cristo.
I am a figurehead coach. No, I'm there to just like these guys haven't played them forever. I'm just here to facilitate. Do you think they're gonna update their tournament clients and like remind them of this stuff? And like we don't have a jungler. All right, so who's helping them like talk about some jungle routes and stuff? Like I'm not leading this team or anything. I'm just here to facilitate to make it easier for a bunch of guys who are super busy with other projects. Who, for their perspective, which we haven't really touched on, they want to compete. Like they still want to like they enjoy playing competitive League of Legends beyond what you can possibly ever get in Flex Queue. And they want to go back and they want to shot call and work as a team and stuff. And like I understand completely your point that like if you want to do that, take it seriously, blah blah blah. Go try and convince a guy making $30,000 a month to do that, and give it up for nothing.
The other thing though is that I mean I do. It just for me it is an indication of this like really big grand notion that franchising is going to encourage. Franchising is going to encourage talent development. I think this indicates that notion has been like a little overstated to me because I do think franchising will, to an extent, encourage talent development, but I also think it will encourage, okay, we have to recoup this huge investment that we put out in like 10 million. We need to focus on like the branding and the merchandising now that we've set all that stuff up. So I do think it will encourage like
I take the opposite
like this.
Well, not the opposite, but I disagree because we don't know what the farm system's going to be. If it's an unbroadcast league, you have literally zero benefit for signing anyone for name value. So if the farm system turns out to be everyone has 5 other players who compete in their own little league and you can do whatever you want with them. And that you can't promote relegate.
Just talking about like farm system stuff only, but I'm talking about like if you want to get a fan base, right? I don't necessarily think
you're saying like the main roster.
Yeah, main roster or anything like promoting people up from this farm system to the main team, things like this. Like, where is your incentive to do that if you're really, really focusing on like kind of, because to me this brings about like more of a focus on the merchandising and the marketing aspect of the league rather than necessarily the competitive aspect of the league. There will definitely be that still because people care about competition and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but I do think that like, and I definitely do think there still will be talent development, but people are like saying, of course, you know, we're going to care a lot more about raising players and stuff, but I still feel like there will be this overarching pressure that isn't necessarily a bad thing that we need to kind of address a little bit. And I think that the challenger team decision that they made is a symptom of that to an extent.
I think there could be a potential problem with what you're saying in terms of franchise teams now still considering fan popularity being important. It's hard to say without actually knowing how that ecosystem looks, because if most of your revenue is coming in from rev sharing and things like that, and merchandising is shared, then like how much you sell might not matter as much, because like right now a lot of lower tier teams are. You're making a face, Travis.
Just because I was looking at the shot of you. If we go back to the single of Mark. And it just reminded me of that meme
homeless man.
Man rants of it.
Sorry, I
love Draco.
I was zoning out that I just looked at the screen and then it was just sorry. Continue your conversation.
All I was saying was like I think while those are legitimate concerns, I don't think the Delta Fox Challenger Dream Team, meme team, whatever, is a symptom of that. It's like I agree that like the importance of popularity in a franchise system are things you have to think about, and that was one of the things that we didn't really cover. But I don't know why in the last time that there's ever a Challenger Series, a bunch of former pro players getting together and wanting to do this is a symptom of that same problem.
I just don't think there's any value in what they are doing. So a lot of people in the Twitch chat right now are saying it's a brilliant marketing play. The business.
I don't.
And on my they're only going to stream I think one game.
They're going to have 2 over the course of the season.
Yeah.
I think that this team is going to suck. Their analyst is terrible. We know that.
I mean, they're going to probably get worse from him.
yeah. But the team. So what does success look like for this project?
Well, like whose perspective
also,
are you taking?
How I guess so. You
the
sign
owners,
these
the team.
Yeah, so technically, if you're arguing that it's a really strong marketing strategy, which I'm not even necessarily arguing against, to be honest.
I don't think it is.
But in terms of marketing, like So you're going to bring on these players under the Echo Fox umbrella, but it's not like they're going to be streaming under Echo Fox, or they can't stream the Challenger games themselves.
Right.
Like, if anything, it's going to increase Challenger viewership for 2 series.
Until we make a great playoffs run.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the 200,000 viewer Challenger Series finals with us.
If you guys make a great playoffs run, it is terrible news for North America.
Yeah,
like, that's just disaster.
The worst.
I mean,
like that's what everyone loses.
If anything, that
this team wins,
proves the point that we were making in the previous episode, which is like a lot of NA's best talent got paid more to be entertainers. Which, I mean, that's a different topic entirely.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the sad thing is we're gonna get roasted for this topic, and like because everybody's just like Cutie Pie, Scarra. I love all these guys, right? But I mean,
we're looking at it from the business development side of the North American region, whereas like I don't know how large of a factor that played in the most important people's decisions in putting this team together, aka the players, because they didn't put this together. Like, how can we make an excellent financial decision for Delta Fox and Echo Fox here? They're like, hey, do you guys ever want to like play competitive league? Like, yeah, I got a little bit of an itch. Like, what if we just like found a Challenger team and played together?
Yeah,
like, we want to win. Like, we're gonna take it as seriously.
I'm not upset with Scarra and Cutie or any of those guys.
I'm not mad at the like.
I'm upset with everything else.
I'm not saying that you guys should be mad.
I'm never upset with players.
Yeah.
Not,
which is sad because sometimes I should be, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, who was like, you need to think about like who's making the critical decisions here.
Well, it's not like they just walked in and dropped their names in a box and then get to go with it. Like,
yeah, but
there are people to blame for this disaster.
Sure, if you think it's a disaster.
Yeah.
You had like, but either way, like, you don't get these guys to do it. So yeah, you can blame me because I was a critical factor. I was like, hey, Cutie, listen to this idea.
Yeah.
I never.
Mark's like, he's like, I've given up. This is just me. We're leading into the entertainment reality TV side.
No, it's just if that group of people who have like I forget the number, like 8 million. Impressions a day get together and like, hey, we're potentially willing to put our names under your banner. Like, do you not consider?
I mean, but they're not. If I go to Cutie Pie's Twitter account, there's no Echo Fox.
How are they actually marketing this?
I don't know, but they came up. I mean, you can ask this to Echo Fox.
Yeah. Aside from like maybe making jerseys.
All right, we got to go to break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Kelsey about some other regions.
Excellent toss.